The Queen of Septimon is finally here! From her blazing beauty to her electrifying attacks, she has it all. Though her kit may seem complicated, it's actually pretty straightforward in practice. In this video, I will simplify her kit for ease of understanding, go through her rotations, sequence nodes, optimal weapons and echo sets, possible teams, a quick showcase, and my closing thoughts on her, including some issues you may come across, and I'll share some tips to go around them. Hi, my name is Spade, and I'm at your service. Despite Augusta's sun motifs, she is an electro main DPS that deals heavy attack damage. It kinda makes sense once you learn more about the sun. But now, there are three main things to keep in mind during combat: prowess, ascendancy, and majesty. Prowess is the purple meter above your health bar. Anything you do aside from her resonance liberation will build this meter. Once it's full, you will unlock her enhanced heavy attacks. And there are two ways to cast this. Hold normal attack, then tap normal attack. Or you can just tap resonance skill or jump then normal attack. This is important as it helps build up her ascendancy, which is the orange circle you see in between the purple meter. Similar to prowess, anything you do including her regular resonance liberation will build this meter. Each attack she performs has their own percentage in filling up this meter, and once it's full and glowing, you will unlock her enhanced resonance skill, and you will need to tap this 3 times in a row to gain 1 stack of majesty. Now majesty is these 2 swords you see underneath the purple meter. As long as Augusta is out of combat for 4 seconds, she will gain 1 sword, and that's only if she has less than 1. But if she has less than 1 during combat, the character she outro skilled to has to cast her own outro skill for her to gain 1 sword. And to gain the other sword, you have to cast her enhanced resonance skill as I mentioned earlier. And now once that's full and glowing, you will unlock her enhanced resonance liberation. Now the text does make it seem it's more complicated than it is, but because they contribute to one another and are performed in sequence, it's easy in practice. Augusta has 2 resonance liberations. The first one is you just tap resonance liberation to cast the regular version. The second one is to hold resonance liberation to cast her enhanced version. Keep in mind that if you just tap it, either nothing will happen or you will cast a regular version. The same applies if only the regular version is up, but vice versa. Once the enhanced version is cast, Augusta stops time, including the actual timer, for 7 seconds. Within those 7 seconds, you can perform up to 9 normal attacks. And once those normal attacks are done, or after the 7 seconds are up, she will automatically cast her finisher, dealing massive damage. Also, side note, this meter thing at the bottom kinda reminds me of PGR. Afterwards, she will consume Crown of Wills and grant the team shields for 30 seconds. Now, what is Crown of Wills? It is this purple hexagon above her meters. This provides 15% electro damage bonus for Augusta. If she's out of combat, she will gain this buff after 4 seconds. To gain this buff back during combat, the character she outro skill to has to cast their own outro skill, similar to how you get the 1 stack of majesty. Now that we understand how her kit works, let's take a look at her rotations. Her rotations are pretty straightforward, and I'll use her current premium team as an example. Now, before we do anything, we have to make sure that you wait 4 seconds before you start the fight so that Augusta can get her 1 stack of majesty. Now, what I like to do after that is to start the combat with Augusta and cast her skill. This just deals extra damage in the rotation and builds a bit of her ascendancy. Then, we switch to Mortiphy and perform some normal attacks to build up his meter as well. Then we switch to Shorekeeper and perform her standard rotation. Then we outro skill into Mortiphy and perform his standard rotation as well. Then we outro skill into Augusta and we perform these steps. Hold normal attack, then tap normal attack. This is for her enhanced heavy attack. Then we cast her resonance skill. Then hold normal attack, then tap normal attack again. tap her Resonance Liberation. This entire sequence completely fills up her Ascendancy. Then we tap her Enhanced Resonance skill 3 times, then hold her Enhanced Resonance Liberation, then you can just spam click your normal attacks there, then she will automatically cast her finisher. Then you can tap your Echo skill for just, a little bit of extra damage, then we outer skill to Shorekeeper. And that is the rotation, and it just repeats itself from there. This is just one of the many possible rotations you can do, but I found this to be the most efficient and easiest to follow. Alright, so moving on to her sequence nodes, starting with S1. She can gain 1 stack of Crown of Wills, which is now 2 in total, and with each stack now additionally granting 15% crit damage. This is gained through her intro skill, and she also has interruption resistance when performing her Enhanced Resonance skill. For S2, Crown of Wills additionally grants 20% crit rate for each stack. And for every crit rate past 100% to 150, she will convert them to crit damage in a 1:2 ratio, basically a potential 100% crit damage increase. However, you will not be able to max this out even with Shorekeeper, a crit rate forecast, and max crit rate substat rolls. The only way this is possible is if you build her with 44111, which I don't really recommend just for the sake of maxing this out. S3 just increases the damage multiplier of all of her enhanced states by 25%. S4 grants the entire team a 20% attack increase for 30 seconds upon her intro skill. S5 just increases her shield by 50%, it's not really that crazy. And finally, S6 increases Augusta's Crown of Will stacks up to 4. You can gain the 2 additional Crown of Will stacks through her enhanced heavy attacks, and casting these attacks will deal additional damage as well. The conversion rate remains the same as S2, but for every crit rate past 150% to 175, this can help you gain an extra 50% crit damage if this is maxed out. And it's more doable to max this out than S2, but like I said, don't worry about it too much. As for her weapons, Augusta has some decent options, but her signature Thunderflare Dominion and Gion's signature Verdant Summit are her best choices. As for her signature, you can see that she has her crit rate in the secondary stat, and then this signature also increases her attack by 12%, and casting the intro skill or resonance skill increases her heavy attack damage by 20% for 15 seconds. Now you can see this buff in this like bubble colored hexagon when she intro skills, so that is that. And then when you're obtaining shields, it allows heavy attack damage to ignore 7.2% of the target's defense for 7 seconds, and this stacks up to 5 times. This is the similar colored hexagon, but with numbers. This just means the amount of stacks it has. Moving on to Gion's signature, the Verdant Summit, it has crit damage as its secondary stat, and it increases attribute damage bonus by 12%. Every time intro skill or resonance liberation is cast, increases heavy attack damage bonus by 24%, stacking up to 2 times, and this effect lasts for 14 seconds. Augusta is able to make full use of this weapon, but it is not as strong as the signature. But if you have it, then this is a really great option for her. And for the rest of the options that she can use, I'll just have it on the screen. Moving on to Augusta's Echo sets, she really only has one combination, and that is 3-piece Crown of Valor and 2-piece Void Thunder. It doesn't really matter how you mix and match them, as long as the Fall Sovereign is equipped in her main slot, because it gives her 12% electro damage bonus and 12% heavy attack damage bonus. I recommend 43311 with a crit rate 4 cost, 2 electro damage bonus 3 costs, but if you don't have that, then attack percent is fine, and 2 attack percent 1 costs. 44111 is viable, but to maximize her damage, 43311 is better. For substats, Energy Regen is the most important stat here, and try to aim for at least 120% plus to comfortably perform Augusta's second rotation. I tried below 110% and couldn't get her regular resonance liberation in time. It just messed up my whole flow, so trust me, it is a 10-second difference maker. So after agonizing over her energy regen, her next best substats are crit rate, crit damage, heavy attack damage bonus, and attack percent. With that, let's move on to her teams. Augusta is actually surprisingly flexible when it comes to her teams, having multiple synergies. Her current best or premium team is Mortifi and Shorekeeper. I say current because Yuna will replace Mortifi when she releases. Her best free-to-play team is her, Verena, and Shorekeeper. And they did surprisingly well, only falling behind by like 5 seconds from my testing with the premium team. Other possible teams such as Frolova and Yinlin work as they can buff Augusta's damage, although not as much as Mortifi. And surprisingly, I even saw some people playing Augusta in dual DPS teams with Carlotta and Shang Liao. This is really nice as it allows more creativity in team building. With Frolova and now Augusta, I hope Kuro continues to release more flexible DPSs in the future. And with that, here's an uninterrupted showcase of Augusta's premium team.
I engraft you new. Loading.
Fury boils. Silence! As you wish.
Fight by my side. Roars of conquest. Invincible. Undying glory. Stand tall before the eternal sun. Here, my valor never fails. A vow from the soul. Control. Diminish. Load astral modulation.
Fury boils. Burn to ashes. Burn! Inferno!
This is my moment. Unmatched!
Overall, I think Augusta is one of, if not the best DPS in the game. And I don't mean that just from her damage output, but also her flexibility in team building. The DPSs that we have had recently with Cardathea and Zani need very niche supports to function comfortably without needing to quick swap and manage rotations carefully. Augusta, on the other hand, performs exceptionally well with Mortifi and Verena, making her one of the most accessible yet rewarding DPSs in the game. However, she does run into an issue that only happens to her. Certain waves in Whimpering Wastes do not spawn mobs during her enhanced resonance liberation due to its time stop mechanic. Each half, as you can see here, has 6 waves in total and we're at wave 3. And each of those waves have smaller waves within them. For example, my Augusta casted her enhanced resonance liberation during wave 3. Even with the time stop, mobs still spawned, as you can see right here, because I was still within wave 3. However, in this next scenario, let me just play this out. I casted her resonance liberation at the end of the last wave of wave 4. So as you can see, I finished off this mob, the last mob right here, and the next wave did not spawn because it would be the first wave of wave 5. Well, I'll show you in a bit. We were at wave 4 currently, and once the finisher comes back, then we're on to wave 5, and then the next mobs will spawn. So that is the issue that we have with Augusta with her time stop. And let's be honest, you won't be able to tell what smaller wave you're on while in combat. So my tip is, if there are only a few mobs left on low health, do not cast her enhanced resonance liberation yet. Finish them off first and wait till the next wave spawns. Then you can cast her enhanced resonance liberation. That should help in going around this issue. While it is not a bug, this could be something Kuro can patch later on. So aside from that and potential energy issues, Augusta is definitely one of my favorite DPSs to play with. I also really like her design, and I love her character in this story as well. So if you're debating on pulling for her, my recommendation is a strong yes. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful to you in understanding how to play and build Augusta. As always, I would really appreciate it if you like this video and subscribe to my channel for more Wuthering Waves content. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.